Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. Today's video is going to be on the summoner class. I'm going to create a 1st to 5th level summoner. It's going to be a hobbit this time, well halfling. D&D and Pathfinder can't legally use the term hobbit, so a halfling. The summoner class, you could be any alignment. The hit dice of the summoner class is a D8. The attack bonus is similar to that of a cleric. You only have one good save, and I believe that was will save. I did not write that one down. You're proficient in all simple weapons and light armor. So I'd start with leather armor and upgrade to a chain shirt within 1 to 2 levels, and then throw magic on that, of course, or go the way of a wizard or sorcerer and start buying magical armor bonuses like braces of armor, amulet of natural armor, ring of protection, so on and so forth. I would start with a staff or a club and some daggers. I would also have a sling and possibly a light crossbow if I could afford it. Otherwise, I'd purchase that after the first adventure. So that way you have some decent range. And then the sling allows you to do bludgeoning damage, so there's no reason why you can't always carry a sling on you and at least one set of ammo for it, so 10 shots. The feats I would pick for a summoner. There are a lot of feats to choose from that would really boost up this class, and I'm going to mention most of them here, but the first 4 would probably be the first 4 I'd pick in those order. So if you were a human, these would be the 4 you'd have. If you're this hobbit, you'd only have the first 3, and then the 4th one you would get at 7th level. So I'd start out with Summoner's Call. You get one of the things you can summon is sort of like a spiritual monster animal companion thing. Call it an Eidolon. I'm probably not pronouncing that right. And with the Summoner's Call, when you summon an Eidolon for 10 minutes, it will have a +2 to one of its physical stats of your choice when you summon it. So it'll be a little bit more powerful. An Eidolon can be on the material plane for any length of time, but while it's there, you can't make use of your summon monster special ability. So that's the trade-off when it's present versus not. You can use a ritual to summon the Eidolon. It takes, I believe it takes a minute to summon him, and you can dismiss him as a standard action. Next, I take Spell Focus Conjuration. So all your summoning spell magics would have +1 save DC, which doesn't really affect you using summon monster and stuff, but it's a prerequisite for augmented summoning, which is the next feat. So by 5th level, you'd have augmented summoning, or if you're human, by 3rd level, you'd have augmented summoning. In that, all your summon monsters get +4 to strength and con. So anytime you summon monster spell, they gain a +4 to strength and con. So their attack bonus would be 2 higher than the listed in the book, and they would do 2 more damage. Their hit points would also be 2 more per hit dice. I would also take Superior Summoning, as if you were human, for your 5th one. If you're this halfling, when he reaches 7th level, he'll take Superior Summoning. That allows you, when you summon monster spells, to summon, say I use Summon Monster 2 spell or Summon Monster 3 spell to summon multiples of lower monsters. So Summon Monster 2 to summon 2 Summon Monster 1s. This allows you to add 1 to the monsters that show up. So when you summon, say, a Summon Monster 3, you roll a d4 +1 for how many monsters show up. Well, this means you roll a d4 +2. So you're guaranteed to have a lot more monsters in play. So here's some other feats that I found that would be beneficial, and if I was creating this class all the way to 20th level, I'd probably pick up all of these feats. Extra evolution for the Eidolon. You get evolution points and more like boost to how it is. It gets tougher fur, it gains claws, it can use magical force through its claws, stuff like that. So that would allow you to get more of it. Extra summon monster feat would allow you to use your summon monster abilities more often per day. Defending Eidolon would, if he's standing next to one of your allies, he can add to their AC. Resilient Eidolon, whenever you go unconscious, this summoned Eidolon gets teleported away, banished back to the plane you summoned it from. This one is more for summon nature's ally, but starlight and sunlight summons. I could see that being applied to this as well, just because it doesn't give huge bonuses, but it'd be entertaining to see, okay, now this summon monster glows, or so on and so forth. But those are the feats that I saw that would definitely fit a big benefit to this class. Now I'm going to go through the level breakdown of what all you get each level. After that, I'll go through the spells, and then I'll go through how to create a Eidolon, or at least how I created this one. So at level 1, you can start with some spells, and the spells you would know them like a bard or a sorcerer. You get so many per day, and then in addition you get bonus spells, but you only know a limited amount. You get Summon Monster 1, 3 plus your Charisma modifiers per day. Now this Summon Monster 1 increases to the other versions of Summon Monster as you gain levels, and this class is limited to 6 level spells, but you get all the Summon Monster spells by the appropriate levels as you level. The duration of all your summon monster magic, even if you take the individual spells in addition to the spell-like ability, lasts 1 minute per level. The Eidolon takes you 1 minute to summon. Evolution points you gain as you go up in level that you can modify the Eidolon. You gain a lifelink with the Eidolon. You can sacrifice your hit points when the Eidolon is slain. So when he is dropped to, I believe, negative hit points equal to its con score, when it's dropped to that, it's supposed to be banished. But instead, you can then sacrifice your hit points and bring it back up to enough for combat to not be banished. If it's banished, you're going to have to wait a whole day to summon it again. At level 2, you will gain Bond Sense. You can now see and hear and touch whatever your Eidolon is touching when you use this ability. So you can use it to scout. And you can use it for a number of rounds equal to your level. At level 3, you gain Summon Monster 2. So it's still limited to that 3 plus your Charisma modifier per day, but now it's Summon Monster 2. At level 4, you get Shield Ally. When next to the Eidolon, the spellcaster, the summoner, gets +2 to his AC and saves, because the Eidolon will shield him. At level 5, you get Summon Monster 3. And those are the abilities that the summoner gets in the first 5 levels. Okay, so now let's dive into the spells. For the spells, at level 1, you have your 0 level spells, you have 4 of them. And you have 2 first level spells. When you gain a level, so now you're level 2, you'll have 5 0 levels and 3 first levels. Then when you're level 3, you will have 6 0 level and 4 first level. When you're level 4, you gain 2 second level. When you're level 5, you gain another second level spell. So the spells I picked would be Light, Read Magic, Detect Magic, Acid Splash, Mage Hand, Open, Close for my 0 level. 1 or 2 of these could be switched out for better choices, but out of his list, you're always going to want to have Read Magic and Detect Magic because you're a spellcaster, why not? Read Magic allows you to cast anything from a scroll without making a spellcraft check. Detect Magic allows you to find magical shit. He's a hobbit, or a halfling, so he needs light source because he only has low light vision at best. And Acid Splash was the only combat spell available to him that's 0 level. For first level spells, I picked Shield for the AC boost and plus protects against magic missile. I picked Rejuvenate Idelion Lesser, which is a version of the healing spell that you get to heal your Idelion. I'm just going to butcher that name the whole time. Then I picked Mount so that I can get one place to another faster. And then Enlarge Person, because it's always good to pick your fighter, barbarian, hell, thief when he's not paying attention, and cast Enlarge on them to make them a bigger threat on the battlefield so that you're not targeted. And then my level 2 spells, I picked Haste, Evolution Surge, and Glitter Dust. Haste, everyone knows what Haste does. The extra attacking around, the boost to AC, the boost to your saves. Evolution Surge allows you to modify your Idelion in combat. It's a new spell, limited to, access to it is in the Advanced Player's Guide. And then Glitter Dust is great for when you start fighting invisible creatures or creatures that are under the effect of Blur. So that can counteract a lot of that. So that's everything on that end. Now let's dive into the Eidolon and how it works and how I built the one for this summoner. So at level 1, it has 1 hit dice. It has 1 feat, and I would pick from monster feats for this because as you build it, it'll depict a monster. It's either a 2-legged creature, a 4-legged creature, or a slithering creature. So a snake-like thing, a 4-legged thing like a cat, lizard, so on and so forth. Or it is a 2-legged creature like an ape, and so on and so forth. Its evolution pool starts at 3. The maximum attacks it can get is 3. And it starts with the base form I picked, which is what you choose for this, is quadruped. So it gets bite for free, as well as the evolution of the extra legs, so it has the 4 legs to start with. It gets dark vision, link, and share spells as its abilities. So I spent 1 point on the following evolutions. The evolutions that cost 2, 3, or 4 usually are mostly level dependent, like the summoner has to be level 7 to pick this ability, and plus you have to have the evolution points. So sometimes you'll level up your summoner and you'll gain 1 or 2 evolution points, but you don't want to spend them because you're saving them up for next level when you can spend it on something better. So I picked Claws because I was visualizing this as, say, a fantastic cat-like creature, so maybe like an electric lion or tiger. So I picked Claws, I picked Pounce to hit that theme again, and I picked Improved Natural Damage, so the Claws will do more damage because the Eidolon starts out as a medium-sized creature, so the Claws only do a d4. So with the Improved Natural Damage, the Claws will now do a d6. At level 2, it has 2 hit dice. Its AC goes up by 2. Its Strength and Dex go up by 1. It gains 1 evolutionary point. The evolutionary point I spent on Improved Natural Armor this time, so now his armor is better. I believe it increases AC by another 2. Level 3, hit dice is now 3. At some point, the hit dice stop increasing with each level, and I think this is the last time it increases directly with the level. Now it has access to 2 feats, so now I picked 2 different feats that fit a monster that would be cat-like. Its evolution points, he would gain 1 more evolution point. Because the evolutions that cost 2 points still are out of my level reach, I'd spend this one on magical attacks. So now all the claws and bites that I do, or pouncing, raking, and stuff that this cat would do, would be considered magical versus damage reduction. At level 4, you gain 2 evolutionary points all at once, and the maximum amount of attacks the Eidolon can do is 4. So if you have another evolution you can take where he can make another attack, or he has another means where he can make another attack. His maximum attacks in a round is 4. At level 5, he gains another evolutionary point. So now I have 3 stored up because I didn't spend any at level 4. My hit dice is 4 for the Eidolon now, and I gain 4 to my AC total, plus the evolution. From the just being this level, I gain +2 to the dex and strength, and now my ability score of the Eidolon increases by 1. The evolution I would spend 2 points on, and the only reason why I didn't do this previous level and waited for this level is because I had to be 5th level to take this one. So I'll still have 1 evolutionary point left, but that'll be left over for, say, level 6. And this one I spent on energy attacks, and I chose electric. So all his claws and bites do an extra electric damage when he hits. So plus 1d6 electrical damage for all the hits that he makes. Other good evolutionary point expenditures for this, because this is him from 1st to 5th level. So anything extra that he could do that were interesting to me was you could spend 2 points on Rend, 2 points on Rake, 2 points on immunities. So he could be immune to an element of some sort, electric, fire, so on and so forth. I was also thinking 3 points on DR versus alignment. He would gain DR 5 versus an alignment. And just base it off your alignment. So if you're chaotic good, okay, DR versus lawful evil. And then he would get frightful presence was also a good one that was in the 3rd one. In the evolutionary points that cost 4, fast healing looked really good. Large looked really good. And breath weapon looked really good. So this would almost be a dragon-like tiger. And that's where I would go with that. I would aim more for that fantastical end to this creature to make him very entertaining and useful in combat. And I wouldn't use him all the time. If you're exploring a dungeon, it might be better to not have him with you so you can use your summon monster spells. Or you have him with you, and when combat, you need a lot of forces in combat, you can dismiss him and use your summon monster spells, and then after the combat's over, you can spend the minute to summon him back. And that's the summoner class as I would build one. Has anyone ever seen a summoner class used in Pathfinder? If so, how'd it go? I'm very interested to see what everyone says about it.